Today we're going to talk about voice leading. What is voice leading? When we move from one chord, like a C major 7, to an E7, we've got 4 notes, and each of those notes is leading or moving or not moving. You know, in some cases they'll stay static. So in the case of a C major 7 to an E7, we have the E is remaining static between both of those chords. And then from the B of the C major 7, we're changing, it's moving up to this D. And then the G of the C7 is moving up to a G sharp. And then the C of the root of the C major 7 is moving up a whole major third to the root. And I'm just talking about these specific voicings. I mean, those movements don't have to happen with every voicing of an E7 chord. We can use different voicings, but let's just stick to one voicing at a time. The point here is what is happening when we move chords, and the best way to look at that is start with one note. In this case, the third of the C major 7. Now that third, that E, doesn't have to move when we move to an E7. So it's going to be the right note. It's going to be the root of the E7. When we move to the A7, it's going to be the fifth of the A7. And when we move to the D minor, that's the first time we're going to have to move that E. And we're going to move it to the third. And a nice defining note of the chord of D minor. So far, there's first note, move, first move. Now we go back to the E, to the A minor, E still on top. And then the D7, probably the best thing to do would be to move to the third, right, which is just up a tone. And now to the minor third, and the minor third is also the 7th of the G. So if I took out the chords and just played the notes, we'd have C, E, A, D minor, E, A minor, the 5th of A minor, F sharp of the minor third, and then the 7th. And then we're back. Okay. I won't go through the whole tune that way. Now that was just one note. We started with the third of the C. How about if we start with a different note in the C chord? How about we start with the root of the C chord up this octave here? Now, if when we're moving to the E7, we could go up to the 7th. Now down to the C sharp. And then, we could go to the minor 7th of the D minor. And then to the 7th of the E. And then to the 3rd of the A minor. And then we've got a D7, and that 3rd of the A minor is going to be the 7th of the D7. And then the D minor, it's again, we're going to have the 7th, the same thing. And then we move to the... So let me just take that now. So we're starting with the root of the C major. So let's start again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the the 7th of E to the 3 of the A7, and we go back up to the root of the D. The root of the D becomes the 7th of the E. And then let's go down to the 3rd of the A minor. And the 3rd of the A minor becomes the 7th of the D7. And it's also the 7th of the D minor. And then finally we move down to the G, the 3rd of the G. So I think that little snippet there is going to give you a very different idea of how you can start to look at soloing. Now I'm just going to expand on this idea a bit. And these are ideas. These are very important ideas if you want to learn how to solo. And if you want to learn how to solo, you should basically understand how the notes move from one chord to another chord. Arpeggios are cool. That's fine. Related scales are cool. But I believe that the smartest and you have to learn those. But I believe that the smartest approach is to, first of all, learn your voice leading. Learn the names of the notes of each chord and how they lead to the next chord, or not lead, how they remain passive in resolution to the next chord, for instance, right? Okay, now let's go back to the 3. Of the C major, and let's add an additional note, right? So we could do this, and then we can stay on the E as we did before, but we'll add the 7th of the E. We'll stay on the E, but add the 3 of the A. Right, and there's the 3 of the D and the root of the D. Root and 7th of the E, 5th and 3 of the A minor, and then the 3 of the D. Take those and make them double stops. You can hear those chords changing. So that's the idea. You can add, try adding an upper neighbor. Obviously, we're in the key of C here, right? You can try something like this, right? Just an upper neighbor. Right, just one added note of the chord. Right, there's, just adding another note of the chord. I think it's a really fun way and an ultra practical way to actually play the right notes in a solo. And so I invite you to do that, to try thinking of voice leading. And begin with a single note, where whatever note that is. You can start with the root, the 3rd, the 5th, or even the 7th, right? And then move to each chord, and listen to the weight of that note. Listen to how the note implies the next chord, because that's important. You should hear the chord changes. There's nothing like pinning down the notes of each chord within the context of voice leading. to lead you to solos that sound like you're playing the tune and you know where you're going. So try that out. Voice leading. Think about it. Thanks. See you soon.